Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming in, tuning in. While we hang out, we mine, we just relax on this beautiful, beautiful Friday evening. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic out there. Man, I cannot believe the countdown. Levi has joined. Welcome, Levi. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Discord was giving me like some fits last week, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll just go solo. And Rick Curry, whiskey ready. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Drink responsibly. It's only 11:30 a.m. over there. Maybe not start right now. This is 9:30 here. So, seeing your dirt face. That would be what do they say? Like that's the hair on the dog. Like what's that phrase? Go ahead, Levi. Can you hear me okay? Because like I'm concerned you're breaking up or I'm breaking up. You're muted, so just FYI. Do. There we go. The dunes of our lives. Let's get some of this action going on. I think I have some cheese to eat. Inventory. I do have some cheese. It's not really the best for gathering, but I'm just here for the XP. What's up, Robbie? It's 9:30 and all the kids in my house are asleep. A good night so far. Cheers to that, buddy. Kids are asleep. Oh yeah. Delicious. What's up, Sai? How you been, buddy? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let's see here. Yeah, let's hit that. Let's get that 100%. Let's get that guaranteed. I'm probably gonna miss though, because it is like Final Fantasy random. Like 100% doesn't really mean 100%. Oh, Twin Tanya, you can get it. Like if you don't know how to get it, let me know, because it's all about like just making friends. You could probably team up with somebody. Like there's a lot of people coming in. Like, it's just about making those connections. Be sure to join our Discord. Be like, is anybody interested in checking out the game and the free trial? And it's like, let me give you this code. You know, it's like you can really kind of leverage the power of just the growth that Final Fantasy is having right now. And by the way, guys, this is open mic chat. You don't need to sit here and, you know, have to be like a member or a mod or anything like that. I've got it open for as long as people are cool. Hi from Australia. That, like, Australia, Japan, Rome, England, some of the top countries that I would love to go visit. I've been to Sweden, and I had a blast out there in Sweden. So, yeah. Howdy from Texas, Simon. Love to make my way down there at some point in the future. Let's see here. Dan says, hey, Brian, I was wondering what job felt easy to play with the new abilities? White Mage or Scholar? I cannot decide. I felt White Mage played a little easier. Scholar kind of just shook me. Like, and it's not saying like White Mage is easier. It's saying that
I said something about.
Yeah, go ahead, Levi.
I could have.
You keep breaking up, buddy. Looks like he's talking, but I can't hear him. But so it's not saying that it is going to be easier. Oh, go ahead, keep talking then. I'd like to hear what you're going to say. You just keep fading in. Is it me? Am I breaking up? And I'm not hearing.
They're breaking it.
Is Discord giving me crap again? It says I've got green bars. Connection info. I'm at 13 ms and no packet loss. So I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. We can troubleshoot here in a minute. The Damien with the 99-cent cheer, guys. Can we get some love in chat for Damien? Damon, that is above and beyond. Thank you so much for that cheer, dude. I really appreciate it. The let's see here. Tokyo here. Heyo, Rick Curry. Oh wow. I want to get out there. I honestly like it would be a dream come true to be able to go out and visit Tokyo. The only thing is I get like severe travel anxiety. I don't know why. Like my dad has social anxiety, and I'm not knocking him. Like he's a fantastic man, but he gets nervous in social situations, and I never have had that, but like when I travel, I just get like, oh God, like I'm gonna miss my flight. I don't know, like it's just like things that have never happened I worry about. I don't know if anybody else is like that. Let's see, beat him up. All right, they're down here. Whee! A little spear fishing, nice. Let's see here. Did the media event, did they show any other gear besides the 80 AF sets? They did not. In fact, we looked. I was going to see and try to play around with some of it, but it wouldn't let us even, like, they had nothing that we could equip that wasn't the level 80 AF gear. So it was all job specific. And even when you go look at Dancer's main stat that they had in that build was intelligence. And I'm wondering if they're masking that. It was just kind of nuts because it's like it could have been a bug, it could have been just whatever. So it is what it is. And guys, if I do miss your question, please don't feel bad about asking it again. Just be sure to tag at WorkToGame like the legendary Mike just did in chat. It makes it a little bit easier for me to see, especially if you guys have a question. I want to make sure that I answer them. But sometimes I might not actually see them, and it's not that. Trust me, like I wouldn't ignore a question. What's up, legendary Mike? Dude, I'm doing good. Cheers. Good evening, everybody. Drink responsibly. Kids are all asleep. Got nowhere to go. Except for go mine up some, woo, that had a kick. Mine up some levels here on Miner to see if I can't get this knocked out. Okay. All right. I've been having USB problems. I don't know if anybody has this on their PC, but like right now, literally, like I've been going over Bluetooth, and sometimes it just decides to get in this random loop. I don't know if I just need to spend some time troubleshooting it, but I don't like troubleshooting PCs. I did that for work once. Now I just say no more. Patriarch, how's it going, dude? Seriously, how did Warrior and Bard play? Warrior, I wasn't as impressed with, but that's because I've been playing it so much. I didn't feel like when he put it on the list of like, yeah, it's not making that many changes. Like, yeah, it feels good. But it would, like, I think what stood out for me, and this is essentially just because we're trying to absorb all this information. So again, like, I'm not saying it's going to be a bad job. It could be the most powerful tank ever. It's just that the changes to Machinist, the changes to Summoner, the changes that I really kind of love, I just fell in love with Dancer. There are things that just stood out as more impressive because for me they were different. And I find sometimes that refreshing, right? Hopefully that makes sense. It's that I'm sitting here just kind of saying like, oh wow, this feels new, this feels different. And then Warrior's like, yeah, this feels like Warrior. The tank changes in themselves, like I think is the smart move, especially from a technological perspective. Let's see here. Callie here, howdy. Oh man, you got you're actually at 7:30, so perfect timing. Legend Mike, he says, how about you? We saw that, talked about seriously about Warrior and Bard play. Bard actually felt good. I was just drawn in the Machinist. Like the Machinist change was what I'm in searching for, if that makes any kind of sense. Like I don't know if I'm gonna love it long term, but we have a video coming out tomorrow morning. I hope you guys enjoy that. Tuna Boat Tony says, WorkToGame. New to all this, but so far the wife, is scrolling. Let's see here. So far, the wife, and I love your videos. Big help getting to 14. So thank you, and Chris, dude. Dude, blown away. Thank you very much. I'm glad we could be of any help, and I'm glad to hear you're playing games with your wife. Family that slays together stays together. So that's important. Roger, Brian, I'm starting to playing Gladiator, and my question is, how do you feel playing the expansion? Amazing, dude. I can't wait for you guys to see tomorrow's video. Chris and I thought of a fun way of kind of attacking the new expansion, and it comes out tomorrow at 9. Starting tomorrow, we're shifting our posting schedule to 9 and 1. So hopefully you guys look forward to it. Brian or Brian, hey, it's with an I, Andrew, spelled the right way. Joe Thomas says, has anyone caught the magic bucket from fishing? I have not. In fact, I have not done much fishing. Sai says, okay, I missed some of what's on tap for the menu for the stream. Are we allowed to be asking it? You can ask about anything and everything. There is no embargo anymore. So I can talk to you guys about anything you want. And you know me, I will give you my... I'm overly joyful. I'm very positive. So like it could be a little bit biased. Like I love this game and I love this community, so it's like, you're like, is it going to be good? I'm like, yeah, it's going to be good. I'm already way more impressed than I was overall with Stormblood. The fate change in and of itself, the fate change alone, I feel very hurt. I feel like Chris and I we probably spent like 30 minutes just fate, like just crushing fates back and forth, and that was just a lot of fun. We actually farmed up the new increased mount speeds. for the zone, and that was like it was enjoyable. Like it had purpose, and the fact they're going to keep expanding those things with new inventory, I think is a very smart play. Let's see here. Fang says Shadowbringers. No, scrolling's too fast. Let's see here. Let me just scroll back up. Sorry.
Hey Brian.
Yes. It cut you out, Randy. I heard hey Brian.
Hey, check your server settings in Discord.
Okay.
Let's chat.
So server settings, my account, no, voice and video. Okay, I'm on voice activity right now. Mic test, let's check. There we go. Hello.
You're in, because you're cutting in and out real bad on Discord, but you're coming through fine on stream. That might be it.
Let me kill one thing real quick.
Oh, that's better.
Let me kill one thing real quick.
That's beautiful.
Is that better? Yeah, I knew it was gonna disconnect me.
Yeah, that seems like it's better.
Well, now it's showing me in the red, so maybe I closed out one app to see if that helps out at all.
Yeah, voice activated is good for a bit, and then it just stops working.
Okay, let me know if whatever it dropped me into the red. Like I had a VPN running, so let me know if that solves the problem on Discord.
Because I might have to be cleared up a lot.
Okay, I might have to configure something special on Discord. I'll reach out to them and say, hey, like it works great for 14, but Discord is acting a little funny. Can you tell me what I need to do?
Well, and it may just be that you need to change your server settings to the region you're connecting in on the VPN.
Okay. Yeah, I've got it doing some funky things to play. This is so I can play Lost Ark and all that fun stuff.
Right.
Roger says, I want to give you guys props for letting Mione have the footage on the White Mage. And so that's what I love about this community. So helpful. Yeah, like, dude, like I can't. I'm still shocked that like as a part of the EU event, that like it was they only did web like pages and whatever only, and Ethis had to kind of like hack his way in through like a writing thing. Like it was just nuts. But also like I would do that. I would do that. Like I love Mione. He's a fantastic creator. We have him actually. He's going to be in a video with us tomorrow. So look forward to that at the 1 o'clock post tomorrow. Hopefully that's going to be good. Let's see here. All right, we're back.
Hey, Brian.
Sai, what's up, buddy? How you been?
I'm doing good. Randy's right, though. You are cutting out really, really bad in Discord.
Is it going back to cutting out really bad?
Walkie-talkie.
Oh, man.
Not on my end since he killed the VPN. It's actually sounding pretty...
I've got the stream up on my TV. You're coming through loud and clear, but in Discord itself, broken.
Man, I'm not gonna worry about it tonight, but it's like I really was hoping to have like the Discord would be playing nice, so this would be more of a social hangout, ask questions, and sometimes it's always helpful to have somebody here in voice chat help me to like if I miss a question. Like Ben says, I'm very positive about everything but the healers. I'm an Omni healer, and I guess I'll do White Mage. Feels bad having to make a choice on least bad standing. Ben, wait till you go hands-on with it. Like, there's a lot of people who are, like, putting, I guess, a lot of energy in what, like, the healers are not going to be, like, well, I think go hands-on with it as the healing community, provide feedback. The dev team is listening and they're active, and if they can make and figure it out, they will. That's one of the things that really separates 14 from other games out there. It's like we might not get the answer we always want, and the answer sometimes ends up being wait, because some things are easy and some things are going to take a little bit of time. But I wouldn't worry about it whatsoever. I played White Mage, and I've got footage of that, and it's fun. I played the Scholar, and it's fun. Astrologian I struggled with a little bit personally, but that's not to say it's not fun. It's just to say when I was in there, I don't know. I have my preferences, and I used to be a Astrologian main before I went back to Scholar. All right, there we go. Master Arcadia says, "Hey Brian, do you manage to try out Machinist? If you did, do you see if the Queen automation effect overall damage that Wildfire does?" I don't have like the raw numbers, Master. In fact, like that's actually one of the things that this media event for us, it was very educational because it was like, you know, like all of a sudden there's just like all this information and we were trying to absorb it all. So like next time, like Chris and I already kind of were like, oh, okay, well, like next time we go, we want to really know and focus in on what's changed, right? Like we want to see how that changes and be able to get like real specific things because we didn't know what to expect going in. We had an idea that we'd get to go hands-on with it, but we didn't know for how long. And so we just kind of kept playing the game and we had a good time and explored the areas and did fates and had ultimately a good time. But then when we came, you know, when we came down to it, like I was like, Chris, like I'm exhausted. I can't like there's so many videos that need to be made, and we had to just start cutting things. So I'm sorry, I don't have those the hard numbers for you, but we'll have to wait and see when the game launches.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is about a Machinist. I'm only jumping in because you brought a Machinist and need it as well.
Okay.
That is my main job. And I know how much you hated it in Stormblood.
Hated it.
How does it feel? How does it feel?
It feels exciting. It feels interesting. And the thing that like I like the change that this is weird for me, like because it's like to get hung up on what I think is something so petty. Is like, yeah, it still has the turrets, but it has a freaking robot that it calls down, and that really made me feel like a Machinist. It really kind of felt like it actually gave me more identity than some kind of just like, oh, I'm a gun class. Like, why would I play this over Bard? And so then when I was playing Bard, I ended up having a much better time because I felt like the mechanic of it was grounded into what I felt a Bard was, and I just felt like the Machinist itself. So playing around with it, and then when you freaking summon the robot, dude, like it's incredible. Like it gives you this really exhilarating feeling, and it didn't go away. Like I got to spend like 40 minutes with it. So nothing like what I would say is like I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a Machinist expert now, but do note that like hopefully you watch the video tomorrow. But I picked like Chris and I decided we were going to do a draft on the jobs. That means like I can't touch the jobs he picks. He can't touch the jobs that I pick until we've like mastered the ones that we pick, and then we put out our guides and stuff on them. So it kind of in a way to try to get all the guides and have it broken up rather than just have me try to like finish it all. And so I made sure I picked Machinist because I loved it that much. Coming off of Stormblood Machinist, the fact that I'm not going to go play Machinist right now because I just don't like it. To where I'm like, I want a Machinist, and I also picked Monk, guys. Like two of the jobs that I did not like in Stormblood, I actually really liked in this time. I don't know if that means that it's going to be amazing, at come 5.1 or 5.2. I can't speak to like how it's going to feel in raid content. But I can tell you right now, like I was really impressed, especially 4 stacks of Grease Lightning as well. Like it felt like it felt more natural. It felt like what a monk would be, because I was like, why would I pick monk over samurai or ninja? It's like, and they kind of gave me a reason because it felt like it was just like it was so fast. It was really really exhilarating. Hopefully that answers your question, Si.
It does to an extent.
Yeah.
But because it's my main job, I'm just really. Because it's completely different. I'm just worried that it's not going to be as fun as I think it is now. I'm
gonna have to default to you like when you go hands on with it. I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't, because it's like they're gonna like if there's something you don't like, I'd say make sure we voice that feedback. But unfortunately, because I didn't like Machinist, this expansion, it's not like I can sit here and say like, oh yeah, like they solved the problem for me. They solved the problem that it's like I wanted a pet. I wanted something that, I can call down and it's going to go fight, and I'm not going to have to sit here and constantly worry about its placement. Does it like hopefully that kind of makes sense? I wish I could say like you're going to be like I don't know if the thing that you loved about the job is still going to be present. I felt like it felt like a really well designed job. That's the best way I could phrase it.
I look forward to your video tomorrow, and
yeah.
Hopefully it's as good as I love it now. I hope it's that good when it drops.
I like for me, and I know you loved it. For me, it just really kind of brought brought it to, like, I think it's the level that I was hoping that it would be from the beginning. So let's see here. Senior Dirtface says, any news on player farms and New Game Plus? Like, we really still haven't heard anything. Like, I guess we're just going to have to go hands-on with New Game Plus to see what it is. But player farms, they're going to be talking about that at E3. So crafting and the gathering and all that system is going to be at E3 here. Not that long from now. Like, I think E3 is just around the corner, which is amazing. Let's see here. Is this bread them up? And there we go. Blue is the best class for the event going on right now. I need to get in. I need to get in and do that event. I was really excited to see that. I just haven't had any. Like, this is my first time. I don't think I've really played many games this week. It's just been a crazy week, guys. I think after all the videos that we posted on Wednesday, I was like, that night I just like, I think I went to bed at 7. Put the kids to bed and I was like, I'm sleepy. Nightwind says, but speaking of that event, what do you think of the irregular tombstones? I think that the rewards that they offer are pretty exciting, but I haven't actually done it yet. So I might do some of that tonight. All right. 67. I want to try. I want to get finished at least with this job. I need to finish off Fisher, but I can do that at a later night. So at 67, maybe I'll be able to get this knocked out. It's going to be pretty, pretty repetitive. So Rick Curry, and hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, had a debate this morning. Brian, what is your opinion on FF logs and parsers for the rating community? Helpful or toxic? I think essentially the issue of rating and all that is that players are going to find the solution for the tools that we need. The fact that the devs don't take the time to actually implement a decent system for people in the community, like in the game itself, is really really unfortunate. You can go, it's like you can try to go and spend all your time trying to fight guild sellers, but there's a market for it. Like, those are necessary tools for the raiding community. I don't think those tools make people toxic. I think toxic people are toxic. I think, like it boils down to a mindset. And I'm not going to say like it's always going to be this way, because there are examples where somebody is clearly trolling or dragging down the party. Let's put them into the exception pile and say in this case we're talking about that players tend to look outward rather than look inward, and say this is what you did wrong, as opposed to say what could I do better. And if you go and you change your mind and you go and focus in on what could I do better, everybody improves. And if you can find a team, a squad that has that mentality, who gives a crap about parsers? There's not toxicity in that regards. What can I do better? How can I contribute more? How can I make sure I stand out, get out of that AoE? How can I be a better human being, a better player, better contributor? And then and rather than pointing fingers, and that's what I think ends up making the difference between like some of the top tier talent raid groups and those that just kind of pick up and are just like kind of in it for themselves. And so I'm not knocking it. I think that Julie's stressed out when we don't run parsers because she wants to know how she's performing, because she wants to be contributing to the group. So we run parsers so she can see if she needs to step up or needs to go watch another video on a new rotation, or find it, like, because if somebody is just directly outperforming her, it helps for her to know, because she's the kind of person who's going to go out and say, oh, I didn't know I could maximize these things. But, the majority of players aren't really going to min-max unless you sit here and say, like, did you know that there's actually, you could do 100% more damage, I did not know that. Let's see here. 5 minutes per run. It's worth it. Everything else takes longer. Let's see here. Do you really want to spam Tamtara? Yeah, like if you're doing 5 minutes a run, absolutely. Earning 100 tomes on Tamtara with Blue Mage, that's fantastic. And night when you have to be able to do the entire tower 20 minutes to be on that speed. Just queue for Castrum, and you won't have to do a duty roulette. MSQ roulettes alone will give you some 80 some tomes. How much are you people going to buy? Well, I think there's a lot of stuff that you can get from this event, which is really quite fantastic. Chaotic Avenger says, I was curious And this is a little thing, but do you think that the devs are aware that players want both gender idle weapon C poses? Sure, I wish my female aura could do the male Dragoon C pose. I'm sure they're aware of it, if that makes sense. Like I don't know if it's like if that comes down to a priority. I would honestly just make sure that it like you have that voiced on the official forums, that that's something you want. But I don't know if it's like right now, like I think they're like, how do we make sure that the new relic system is going to be good? What additions are we adding to the PvP system in 5.1? You know, like I don't know. I have never given it any thought, so I have never asked the devs that myself. Just make sure you post it on the official forums if it's something that you want to see. And don't let anybody tell you that it's like, you know, shoot down your idea. That's the thing that irks me more than anything else, is when people are like, oh, this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, there's nothing wrong with asking. It's not like the devs are going to drop everything. They've got 2 years of content planned out already for us, and they're going to start planning for 6.0 here in August. So might as well see if you can't get on that plan, you know, for like August. See, Ghastly Lantern says, hey, I just wanted to drop in and see what's going on. Dude, we're just chilling, hitting some rocks with hammers and, you know, drinking some whiskey on the rocks. Do I feel that the healers got a correct balance and identity for what you see from the media tour? I actually do. I felt like I was able to output damage. I think the cap on MP is a little interesting. It's going to take a little bit longer for me to kind of get more accustomed to it. But healers' damage has never been calculated into any of the content, so any kind of damage they can put out is there. Now, they have the ability to do damage, but it's just not like, you know, they're not like a DPS, right? So they're going to be focusing in on what makes them like good at healing, and it's all actually going to fall in line to the content. If the content delivers on situations where you have to be healing and pre-healing and shielding and kind of keeping you busy in that regards, I think healers are going to be pretty satisfied, because that's going to be something. But if a healer is just standing around and it's like, all right, I tossed out my dot and then I don't want to burn my MP, everybody's doing good because everybody's out geared this content, I think that's where you'll see frustration, rightfully so. But we can't know that until we go hands-on with Eden. We can't know that until we go hands-on with everything else like that, if that makes any kind of sense. The Real Excellent says, do you really think another Calamity is in the future for 14? I've seen you reference it a few times in your videos. So here's where it comes down to. I mean, I honestly think that there's two ways forward for the game from a technological perspective, because I've had some gripes and I've been very critical of it, but it's not because I don't love the game. It's because it's like, why don't we see the fate change brought to Stormblood and to Heaven's? Like the game is built like a Jenga tower, and it's layered on top of each other. And the AR, like at the end of the day, they never thought there was going to be a Heaven's Word. There's no way on the world. What they did and what they pulled off was the most incredible turnaround, like in gaming history. It has never since been attempted. It has never since been like, it's not been attempted because of how risky it is, but they did it, and for that they like deserve a ton of respect. That being said, when they were doing that, like they pulled ARR out of a 2-year cycle while keeping 1.0 going. They had to cut corners, and it's not like that's not a negative statement by any stretch. It just says, hey, okay, how do we get this to work? What's the thing? What do we need to do? We need to get this run on PS3. Here's the requirements. And so when we were talking with Yoshi P, like he's like, yeah, like they would love to do some of these things, but if they go and mess with that foundation, you have Heaven's Word and Stormblood and Shadowbringers on top of it. Like, it takes a lot of work. So it's not impossible, and they're not saying it's impossible. So that's why Yoshi P kind of really hinted at don't lose hope. That was really like, he was like, don't lose hope, don't lose hope. And it's like, I agree. Like, it's, but the level from a business level investment, it comes down to, like, they could do that, but then all of a sudden we would all be sitting here saying, like, why does it feel like we don't get enough content? Like, why does this maybe feel a little bit less than and less than? And they did a lot of work on that, like, world visit system. And that's one of the big things they kind of been working on under the scenes. So they're doing a lot of that work. They made changes to Chocobos behind the scenes. in 4.4. They're doing some of this work. It just unfortunately takes a lot of time. I think that it's either going to culminate, because if you think of Stormblood, and then you think of Shadowbringers, and then you think of 6.0, like you're continually building this really tall tower, and making that road for new players to kind of get caught up higher and higher and higher. At some point, the quote unquote tower should fall over, and then everybody should have a new starting point, and that should be like kind of the next chapter of the game. They don't have to do that by any means. Like, I don't think that's the only way forward. I think the other way forward is they can continue to make this story and this narrative and go from there. And then they come out with maybe Final Fantasy 17 or something like that, where it's another Final Fantasy game that's kind of built up, that has all the knowledge of what they've done in 14, and can have a lot of the core foundation set. And it could be a completely different game. All this is speculation at this point. I just think that there's a sense that they could just quote unquote destroy the world and bring in a lot of the stuff and have a new starting point based off of like maybe Shadowbringers, and then having it start to stack up from there. But there's a risk there as well. So I'm not saying it's the only idea or it's a good idea. I'm just saying that I just think thematically how they've already phrased Zodiark, how they already told us that multiple calamities need to happen to help bring about the resundering, or what we do in Shadowbringers ends up undoing the sundering in the first place. And if we undo the sundering, maybe that's like all of a sudden, what would the world be like with Zodiark and Hydaelyn having never sundered themselves, having never created the 14 shards? What does that Eorzea look like? Did new players come into that with 6.0 all at the same time, and thus we who are playing now kind of have this once in a lifetime experience like we did with 1.0? I don't know. What do you think? What do you want to see? Slickly. Welcome to the Workforce. Thanks for hitting that follow button over on Twitch. Oh yeah. At this point, I just want them to return to high fantasy. Dude, oh my gosh. The zones and the beauty of this high fantasy stuff is just phenomenal. Like, it is breathtaking. The enemies, breathtaking. Like, I was really blown away. I was just like, oh, this is what is made. Like, this is so beautiful. The color schemes, and I can't wait to see what it's like when we actually bring night back to the zones. Because it was kind of like, the light was a little, on the intent, not like painful, but it was just like, yep, there's a lot of light here. Everything is bathed in light. And Star Wolf, dude, welcome back, man. Thanks for becoming. It says new member. I know you've been a member before and supporting the workforce. Thank you, sir.
I'm back.
Yeah, Star is back. I don't know if my audio on Discord is still playing nice. It's been kind of weird, I guess, since I moved to the new house. So maybe I do need to see about. I'll do some googling about making sure like I can get Discord to work right.
Busy.
Dude, moving sucks. Right. There's the notification. There's the all right.
No,
it could be night when I win. There could be that. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, actually not far now.
Can you say that? Can you say that again? You kind of broke up.
Shadowbringers is not far now.
No, it's not far at all, man. It is. We are 4 weeks away. It's phenomenal. Yeah, we only saw 2 of the zones, Nightwind, and then in the Crystarium, and I thought those were all just gorgeous. This here, Evardo says, I know it is way too early, but the Gunblade job really made my hopes for a Final Fantasy Soldier job in the future. It's possible. Like, what would you want the Final Fantasy Soldier job to be? Like kind of, are you thinking DPS or something like that? There's a new notification, and it hasn't popped up yet. Azra Sky, welcome to the workforce. Thanks for hitting that follow button over on Twitch. Okay, yeah. Titan Eggy is the thing that kind of is the only thing that kind of changes up my entire gameplay schedule, because in the past I've had Titan Eggy out for my tank, I've had my Chocobo out for my heals, and I've been the DPS, so I've been a 3-man squad on Summoner, just like freaking wrecking. I think, and what I hope this means is that it means that we get to use the different summons more as a part of a kind of rotation, whether it's situational or not. So I think overall, if this means they can kind of really have more fun with the summons, rather than have this here's our because they really kind of fixed that with Ifrit and Garuda, and Titan just became a oh no, the tank's struggling kind of moment. I don't know.
Seems like they changed it with the Titan. It seems like they changed it with Summoner, like being able to summon, taking the swap out really quickly and everything.
It's instant, and that your pets can't be targeted or hit or killed. So there's no tank anymore. There's no tank pet. It just makes me think that it'd be cool if, like, Titan passively buffed. His utility is buffing everybody, like defensive wise. So you would call him out, like where you want to use it from a utility perspective. But off the top of my head, I can't remember, and that's okay. Bread him up, baby. Bread him up. Let's see here.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't let us summon the companion chocobo. We did not have any. We did not have anything to do on that. We got to play with crossworld link shells. So if you guys missed it, you get 8 crossworld link shells now. Hey Randy, are you in the game? Because I think I need to make you a leader in the crossworld, right?
Yes, I'm in the game.
All right, crossworld link shell. But right now we just have the 1, so it's going to shift. So you'll have 8 local and 8 crossworld.
I think that's useful.
It's going to be handy. Because it's like then we can... I'm hoping they increase the size. Because we're at 64 right now. There we go. Unable to promote. Huh. I'm on Zygotanus. Like, do I need to be next to you? Are you in a piece of content or something? It says unable to promote. Like, I guess maybe we have to be next to each other. If you want, if anyone wants in the crossworld link shell, then go to Party Finder. Where are you, Party Finder? Party Finder? And I'll say recruit for CWLS. Let me know if you like it.
I can come to you, Brian.
Yeah, come
over
on.
in the step.
Yeah. CWLS, WTG. And we'll keep it open. Cross data center. So if you search Bryn, you should be able to see that now as long as you're on Aether. You can just jump on in. And anybody who jumps in the party, I'll send them a pearl. What's Emil? Hey y'all. Hope you're having a good night. Thank you very much. I hope you are too. And I am having a good night. Just kind of hanging out.
I'm in Reunion, Brian.
Okay, let me see that. Let me just finish this mining leave.
Sure.
Let me see if it was zone based. Because I was like, makes no sense. Gold boss. Okay. Let me just fly to you. I could teleport. No, I don't want to teleport because it might cancel my leave. You said you're in your reunion? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Heading to you. Okay, thanks, Ellie. Pedro says, totally off topic. Are we getting the trailer beard or any other new beard on the expansion? I hope we get the. I think we're gonna see like the dwarf beard, as either glamour or something, which I think will be fun and exciting. But we'll have to see. They didn't show us any of that, but they like show it off in a way like. So there we go. Let me go. I can just target you. Okay. Like the link shell, like the crossword link shell. That's not helpful. Okay, crossword link shell. Hey, Sekro.
I found you guys.
Yeah. It's saying I cannot promote you. Let me Google real quick. Okay. Unable to promote.
Yeah, that's weird. So I'm such a gentleman. I don't know why it's not letting you do it. Weird.
Huh. I wonder if it's because I'm in like, I'm gonna go kill the party finder.
You would. In the Final Fantasy 15 close.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not private. Data center.
Are you leveling it?
Yeah, I'm leveling minor.
Level 61.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid USB. In the one in the 4.5 Shadow, yeah, the trailer is great, and that's question's been asked of Yoshi. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we get it at some point in the into Shadowbringers. Come on, controller. My USBs are messing up, so it's like randomly, it's like no. Just unplug it and plug it back in. See if that forces it to behave.
Trying to keep an eye on my
Why is it not
cook
working?
it.
What's up?
Very, very important.
Oh man, I would have loved to seen like that's kind of what my idea or thought that how they could do a blue mage is they could make a blue mage like a druid, right? Like it's like okay, you're gonna have this animal form, this monster form, and then you have like there it goes. Now it's working again. Okay, I'll try again. Let's see here, crossroad link shell. You gotta be kidding me. Crossroad link shell and all boss promote. No, dude, it is not working. All right, I'm gonna go back to. We'll figure it out. There we go. It's like it does not want to play nice. Just in general.
If we can't, Brian, I'm not going to worry too much about it, man. Keep doing your thing.
Okay.
We'll figure it out later.
Vince is looking at you, Anthem. Just in general. Second, they are super disappointed with crowded cities that are ghost towns. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing. Like, Eureka ended up taking a lot of people out of the open world. And they took them out of the open world, and then it's like they're all over there in Eureka. And it's like, they need to find that. They need to find a good balance. Somebody was like, I was like, just give me a little bit of like, you know, not even 100% efficient. Like, it could be 25% of, you know, whatever I would get in Eureka. But give me a little bit of that as a, like, you know, what if I'm running a roulette or if I'm doing something. So, like, if I don't have 3 hours to go do exploration content, I can just go run a roulette. And I'm not going to get, you know, like that, like just an insane amount. But it's like, oh, if I had 30 minutes. What is happening? This stupid... I'm about ready. Like, once this... We got an offer on our house, which is good. So once we close on the house, I think I'm going to go buy myself a new computer because this is just getting ridiculous. It's like it's the USB controller, I think. It decides to like freaking freak out on me. So that's why I was using Bluetooth and it was working fine, and then it's like, hey, what's up, Clink?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. I feel like we haven't caught up in a while. How you been? I've been moving, so I'm exhausted.
Busy moving.
Yeah. How's the move going for you?
Almost done. I just gotta get my stuff set up.
Nice.
I got like a few things left I have to take care of over at the other house, and then I should be ready and set to come back and play.
Now this is Jameson whiskey, Black Barrel or something. It's really good, and it's just I just have whiskey with some ice, so you know it's like not a fancy
Yeah,
cocktail.
Brian, I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
is your controllers keeps desyncing?
It's my Bluetooth on this computer, because it goes through USB. will randomly futz out on me, and then when it like sometimes my USB stuff just kind of like decides it's gonna take like a 5-minute rest, and it's like
clear your cookies in your cache. That might be causing what's causing it to have problems.
for my browser.
No, not through your browser. Like if you go through like your system like settings or whatnot, like to this, because chances are you running Windows 10?
Yeah, I am running Windows 10. Okay, I'm in system settings.
Windows 10 has a thing to where the system continuously system defrags, and that causes an issue with a bunch of USB devices.
So what do I need to search or clear? Because I'm in settings.
It's been so long since I've done it, but that's what I was having the same trouble with my PS4 controller.
Let's see here. USB network in Windows 10.
So it'd be like your system, like if you go to your system, I think it's like your system settings or whatever it is.
Yeah.
On the way how you can tell like what kind of controller thing you have. There's a
Device manager.
There's some way that you can disable that. If I can find it, I'll give you a link.
It's talking about like it's right here. I think it's something about power management here. So find the universal serial bus controller. Let's see here. Universal serial bus. Yep, got it. And
because what mine kept doing is it kept disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting, connecting, and then eventually malfunctioned.
okay.
And since mine did that, I was looking to see what the problem was, and my CPU source, I think it was saying it was being used at 100%. And so I found out that was from the disk defrag. So every single time the system disk defrags, it technically moves like files and folders like behind the scenes, and that's what causes it to malfunction.
Yeah, like it's and here it says, well, one of them is saying like allow this to turn off root hub properties, power management. No, I do not want you to turn off properties. Yeah, so hopefully maybe that's all it was. All right, Clink, you might have.
Yep.
Let's see if that's all, because it's like turn off this to save power. I'm like, stop turning off on me. We'll see if that ends up being what fixes it. If it does, thank you. Oh, the Evil Ace raids, JB. Mwah, mwah, mwah. That's why actually I have a lot of hope for the near raids. I have a lot of hope based off of what I saw with Evil Ace. It was so I thought just well done. And I still need to go back and just like really finish near. I have so many games that are just on the backlog.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, please.
Are we allowed to talk about the preview for Shadowbringers?
Yeah, we can talk all about that. Yeah, we're good.
Embargo's lifted.
I am super stoked about Machinist.
Yes.
They got rid of they are. I was listening to like Happy's input on the job and whatnot, and it sounds like it's solving all the problems I had with that job.
Yeah.
Even though I loved it in Stormblood.
Now, Sai, I know is a little concerned. Yeah, barrel, but the robot sells it for me. The robot makes me feel like, yeah, like why can't I have a robot? Like I always was like with the like little, you know, the rook and whatever. It's like I was in here like, I wish I could just call them out and they would follow me around. I don't know. I was really always annoyed by how they had the same place. And with that, like with the fact that I can call him and set him down, but I also can call out a robot and he can go and move around and he'll go fight. Like that's so cool. Same thing with Dark Knight and the shadows for Dark Knight is so sweet.
You think about it, there's a lot of classes that have their own like summon now.
Oh, so the mechanics from Vagrant Story, that's one of the games that I would love. Oh yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, thanks. Ads here.
Yeah, I was gonna say for Machinist, the one thing that I love is, from what I've seen, is they're actually giving a use for you to overheat, and secondary, it's they're getting rid of the bullet and the RNG like chances of activating skills. So
I'm glad.
that right there
Mhm.
makes me very happy.
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad
think-
about the.
I think the biggest thing that really makes me excited that oh good, Rosalind has joined the party. Let me get her a link shell. Let's see your party members. Invite to Crossworld. The is the fact that Yoshi P kind of was sitting here and is like, well, they're trying to make changes. They were originally kind of their design was let's make changes to the job, and so that way it can be ready for future expansions. And then it's like, can't commence while I'm in Party Finder. That's a crock. But it's that he's like, no. Like they're shifting the mindset to say, like, how can we make these jobs the most fun for this expansion? And think that means things that might change a little bit more dramatically in the future, but that's okay, you know? Like, I think that's okay. I think it's about, like, understanding what's going to be fun for this 2 years. And that's one reason why we saw they not give Monk 4 stacks and Shadowbringers, and then it's like, at the end of it, they're like, oh, that was kind of, like, we should have done that. I'm going to go ahead and Party Finder.
Yeah, I just like I like the fact that they're actually making machinists more similar to Edgar from Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, he's got the Bioblaster. I was surprised we didn't see
Got
I
it.
saw
everything
that.
from him.
Yeah. So
No,
it's go ahead.
I'm gonna be main. I've been thinking of main machinist because I've been playing machinist a lot every
Yeah.
time it came on recently. But I don't know if I want to get me Dragoon to 80 first.
Yeah.
I gotta
That's
admit,
yeah.
Dragoon looks really fun too.
It looks like an
it's fun.
evolution of what it was.
It's a good evolution.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good evolution. I like that it starts off at 30 seconds. I like its new abilities. Dragoon is
The high
been pretty
jump
fun.
as well.
High jump now
The
high
kind
jump.
of evolves, so it's like
Yeah,
it's
as soon
doing
as
some
I
good
seen
things.
that jump, and how fast that was, I was like, "Oh dear God, yes."
Yeah, so I'm excited for Dragoons. I'm excited for. I really like Monk. I think that was really impressive, and so I was really happy to see that.
I think Neo was trying to say something. If he's there.
Owen.
I was just
Whoa!
gonna say that I've been playing all day, and I've seen more.
No, go ahead, Neo.
Oh,
Somebody just cheered, and I
I've
want to
seen
make sure
more
I shut
people
him
playing. I've seen more people playing Machinist today than I have in the month that I've been back. And I think people are like, I want to play Machinist. I gotta level this up
Heck
before
yeah.
we get to the expansion.
It's the
People-
perfect month to do so. And Michael, one second,
glad
I'm gonna
mine's
shout out
okay.
Michael. I'm gonna shout out Michael 1 second. Michael with a $5 cheer. Thank you so much. Can we get some love and hype in chat for Michael with a $5 cheer? If we got any members here, just spam some emotes at him and tell him thank you. And then Val Rays follows it up with a $1 cheer. Can we get some love and hype in chat for Val as well? Michael and Val throwing some emotes your way. Thank you so much, very much. That means so much. It helps the channel out like in ways that I can't even explain. It's just like you're like we do because of these like dollar cheers and stuff. Like this is where like Julie's like, hey yeah, like go. I love the two post a day schedule. You know, I was like yeah, like you know, like this none of this is possible without the support of my wife, and every little thing you guys do helps make that a little bit easier on her and on Claire. So thank you guys so much. Totally not required whatsoever. We love that y'all are here. I don't want to play. All right, let's see here. Let's hit 60. Let's hit 68. We're gonna get this done tonight, guys. We're getting this done. I'm gonna be done with Miner. And that will be done with Miner and Botanist, and then I just have Fisher and Culinarian to level. All right. Sorry. Like I think we're shouting out the cheers. Star, were you gonna say something, or I want to make sure that everybody gets time.
No,
chance to
was
talk.
it Neo who's gonna carry on saying something? I'm not sure.
About everybody leveling Miner. I just thought, yeah. Kylie 60. What do we see here?
I'm quite excited, really, for Shadowbringers. Like,
What was the one job? Like, if you guys could only pick one job, and there's no like, well, you know, like I take this and then maybe that. No. If you only could play one job based off of the trailer alone, what would it be? You can take your time to think about the answer. This question also goes out to chat. So if you could only play one of the
first
jobs,
one you got, the one you can only take to 80 and everything.
only
that's
1
the
to
only job
8,
you can
only
do.
1 to 80. Only you can only you can
Yeah, that's
only
it.
level 1, and that's going to be your main for the
that's
entire
it, my
expansion. And you got to base it off 100%.
That's to be my dragoon.
It had to be your Dragoon? Okay, so Stars dropping Dragoon. So we got chat saying Machinist and Dancer and Bard. We got a Paladin, Machinist, Paladin for life, Ninja with Senior. Ninja was fun, dude. That Shadow stuff, dude, is good. What about you, Neo?
It'd be a 50-50 between Summoner, which I'm maining right now, and Dancer. I only said 50-50 because I don't know much about Dancer.
You got to pick one off the trailer, man. Like I can't accept a 50-50
And probably
answer.
Dancer just because it's new.
Oh yeah. For me, I'm gonna say
Dancer
Summoner.
does look fun.
For me, I'm gonna say Summoner. Like I love Summoner too much, just off the trailer alone.
That's definitely Phoenix, right?
Phoenix is that, but as a controller player, I can't tell you how awesome that change in the pet commands is, because while yes, I got a lot of views off of my macros on how to automatically switch out your skills, because if you want to have those controls, it's not why I do this at all. I'm like, people are like, oh, what if Square, you want Square Enix to put a summary video of the story in the game or something like that, and we're like, yeah. And they're like, well, what would you guys make? It's like, I would make something else. That saves me a lot of time. And then probably the quality there would be far better than what I produce. So yeah, I'm all for that. I have I'm working on a couple of new things that I'm really excited to hopefully show you guys in July, but it's going to take a little time.
I gotta say one thing though.
Yeah.
Brian, you've been on fire lately.
Dude,
It's with this
it's
media
been
tour and all that.
nuts. Well, Creator on the Rise has, for whatever reason, that's put us in contact with some really interesting people, and so we're while we haven't we're not ready to share anything yet, but it's just because all this is just okay, let's have a conversation. Who knows where it's going to go, but hopefully it means that we get to create more interesting content, right? Because we've got Xenadrill or Xenadri on the podcast. That'll be up on Monday. We're trying to really kind of make sure we got a podcast once a week for everybody, and trying to just bring on community people, but overall just various things. And then we're going to be doing some I'm sending Larry's a script, so he's going to help me out with a project. And then we've got Mioni's helping me out with a project,
yeah.
and it's just
I love Larry's.
yeah, he's hilarious, dude. I really enjoyed getting to hang out with him out of the media tour. I've loved Larry from, I think I was probably one of the early subs for his channel. It's just he's just a rock star. But yeah, I like making fun things and stuff, and hopefully helping people out, because it's I see the drama, and it's okay, let's see if we can't present a voice of reason. And when people come in and they say they came into the video angry and then they leave feeling much better, I was like, that means we're doing something important here. CW link show Fight Club or something? No, Ian, if you want in, just let me know. Just tag at WorkToGame if you guys want CWLS, and I'll reopen the Party Finder. It won't let me run Party Finder and a leave. It just seems, it's unfortunate and silly. So it means I can open it up and get you guys in. Go ahead.
What about the? Sorry, you can continue. I was gonna say something. But... No, I was gonna say about the trust system.
What do I think about it?
I mean, it just seems interesting. What do you think about it?
I think the trust system is a really natural evolution of the game as a single-player game. It's not a knock on the game. A lot of people are it's an MMO. It's it's a single-player game set in an MMO. The story is experienced as a single player. They randomly put you into dungeons, so the trust is kind of really just saying here's an awesome single-player Final Fantasy game and story that you can participate in, and if you want to then engage in the social aspects of the game, then you can absolutely do that as well. Clink, I'm thinking I haven't had any issues since you showed me that, since we made that change. So hopefully that's what all this was. So maybe I don't need to get a new computer right away.
You know what I want to. You know what I want to know? What zone is everyone going to be AFK in Shadowbringers?
The Crystarium is freaking
You know what I mean?
gorgeous.
Like, is that going to be the main zone where everyone goes and gets the gear and everything at the end? That's what I'm wondering.
So, Suckalord, it says, as somebody currently trying out controller, I get lost fighting the MHW and the keyboard and mouse twitches that I've had for the past 10 years of gaming. That is completely natural. It's gaming, especially the controller, ends up becoming also a kind of muscle memory. So it is what it is. Like, it just takes a little time. Don't stress yourself out. Just remember, take your time. Like, figure out what works for you and what's the most comfortable for you. Like, whether, whatever it is, you'll absolutely get it, and you'll find something that works very comfortable. But yeah, you're training yourself against how you've already been trained, and so it's easier for me to train somebody who's like, oh, what is this? Like, I've never played an MMO before. Then it's like, let me teach you how to play the right way, which is on controller.
I might have to start using controller because
Those are fighting words.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude, 14 is the freaking Rolls Royce of MMOs, especially for the number of inputs that they allow players to have. And the fact is like, I think I could outperform, somebody on a keyboard and mouse, having practicing it. Like, you have access, but if you put me on a keyboard and mouse, I would be garbage. But because I train and I play on the controller, that is where I excel, because it's not a matter of pressing a number key. It's just a button combination, and I can be just as fast as anybody else. And so, yeah, I wouldn't know what the right appropriate challenge would be, because maybe there's a skill gap naturally in human beings, but I think the controller is the most comfortable form of input. But I also play on a keyboard, a PC, so I do have access to a keyboard and mouse. Playing just controller, I could see how that could be kind of a little difficult.
No, I'm thinking of switching to controller because I'm playing keyboard and mouse right now, but the problem is I'm sitting right up to the desk and it's really hurting me back. I want to be able to play the game and relax.
Yeah,
controller.
That's one of the things you can't do with the keyboard and mouse, man. It's I can just lean back, and if I'm gonna that's really why I want this game to come to Xbox, because it's I want to kind of just be I'm just playing downstairs, just laying on the couch, just doing fishing. Fishing is perfect. You can't it also has rumble. Whose keyboard out there is rumbling? I bet it's nobody's.
No, that'd be a new thing, wouldn't it? A rumble keyboard.
Oh man, people that would
rumble mice.
They have rumble mice, but it's a rumble keyboard. Be like you just hear somebody's desk. That would be an office nightmare.
You'd fall off the desk.
Oh, thanks, Ellie. And I won't. I'm just having one. I'm not a heavy drinker. I'm just it's Friday night. I'm tired. I'm sore. I went for a run before the stream, so I went for a run, showered, poured myself a nice little drink, figured I would see if I can't finish off Minor. But we got 2 kids' birthday parties tomorrow. I got 2 podcasts tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a tough day, so I'm gonna make sure I go to bed and get plenty of sleep. It's been a hard week. I've had a lot of work to make up, with the media event. These things just throw me back. I don't get paid to go do those kind of things. I really enjoy them. And maybe one day, it'll make more sense. But then I end up just having to come back and work a lot of different long days. So this is, I think, my first real time where I was oh, let's hang out. Let me have a drink. I'm gonna talk an absurd amount, because now I don't have to worry about what I'm saying.
As an experience going there, what was it like? Though, being able to talk to Yoshida and all that.
Talking to Yoshida helped, I think, me able to understand some of the critiques that I've had of the game, and that Yoshi P actively wants to be able to do these kind of things, but there are just limitations, and that's just a lot, because there's just a lot of work that comes into maintaining a live game. Changing something within ARR could have just such a rippling effect, and the testing required is it's a lot of work. And it's okay, so I don't bemoan that. It helped me kind of sit here and say okay, yes, if I get a chance to ever ask him another question again, it's going to be more targeted to how they could try to use the current resources without making too much work, because we talked about blending Heaven on High with the old dungeons for kind of what we would have as our Mythic Plus. and they want to do something like that, but it has to. If they ever did introduce that, it wouldn't be until, like, it would be within that expansion and forward. It wouldn't be anything prior. And so, if they are planning for that, if they are planning to do that at some point, they're probably doing that now, and we would see that introduced at something in the future. But like the guy loves the game, and his team going above and beyond and putting letting glasses and stuff like fit on the new races. Like, it says, like, if they can do it, they're going to do it. Like, 14's their flagship. It's going to be neat to see. It's going to be neat to see kind of where they decide to take it in about 5 to 6 years, because in 5 to 6 years it's going to be 15 to 16 years old, and there's going to be a whole new generation of systems.
Kind of like World of Warcraft.
Right, and it's just like, does it make sense to keep going with it, or does it make sense to say, like, oh, here's a brand new MMO? If MMOs are relevant.
They just have to make sure they don't fall down the same hole as World of Warcraft right now, because right now World of Warcraft's becoming kind of stale.
That's what a lot of people say.
I mean,
Chris is right now running an experiment to see if he can like, just have the gold he makes pay for his sub or whatever, because he's not planning on resubbing. So he's like seeing if he can make enough gold like, just to kind of pay for that.
With the WoW token.
Yeah, for the WoW token. And
the WoW
like,
token.
Yeah. So it's like,
would
that's
that
an
work in
experiment.
Final Fantasy?
It'd be nice. I don't think that's gonna happen though. Like, I think that when I say, like, the difficulty in making some of these kind of bigger system-wide changes, like, even if it was on the backlog, there's other things that they have that I think that we as a gamer, as a player base, would rather them do first. So as much as, like, having maybe the idea of a token sounds interesting, it's like, oh, they're like, oh, but wouldn't you rather have this? And then we would say, oh yeah, we'd rather have whatever you just said.
I feel like they should increase maybe something called, maybe we got normal difficulty, but then we got Savage, but something like Savage Plus or something, maybe. I don't know.
I just think that if they can find a way to introduce dynamic difficulty to certain contents, rather, because, like,
you
I
mean,
feel like they have to.
Depending on how many people are there.
Yeah, and that's where the modifier system of the Heaven on High, we like that as an idea because it's already built in the game. But just the idea that they could go and say, because they'll never be able to outpace our consumption. It's like they can never make enough hamburgers to feed us all, and so we're always going to be left hungry and wishing that we could have more. And it's like,
I want
go ahead.
a way for them to keep even the old content, like, fresh to people, like, like, make it useful still, the old content, because it was such good content. It'd be a shame just to kind of see it go to the back end. Like, just make it useful in some way. Like, but that's obviously roulettes can, well, not all the roulettes don't do that. They don't show out dungeons, do they? Roulettes. I keep forgetting. No, they do in level.
So that's where, like, we talked about it, and he said that his team's going to look into it, because I said that like, when I don't need XP, can we get some kind of Paragon level or something like that? And it's like, just make it
cool.
Just make it like the Fates, like, where it's just you can get like whatever, and then you can go get some currency. My USB. Okay, now it's back. And he said he would talk with the engineers.
Add to your level?
So basically, think of it like as a glamour level. Let's say you're level 80, and then all of a sudden you hit, like you level up. You're level 80, but but XP is still valuable. And then you're G1 now, and then you level up again, and you're G2, and then you level up again. It's like, and it's only really for that expansion. And so you just, like,
80,
as you play,
but something else added onto that 80.
Yeah, well, and it doesn't affect your
like
power.
Right engrams from.
Exactly, and that's what we used as the example in our interview. We said, like, Destiny 2, and, like, even Diablo's Paragon system, in which that it's like, don't make it make me more powerful. Make it to where, like, I can unlock.
The only thing they copied from Destiny.
Yeah, agreed. Like, we don't need anything else. But it's just that it's a smart system. And to say, people, like, when I bring that up, they're like, Destiny sucks. It's like, okay, that's fine. But it doesn't mean that you can sit here like, oh, let's discount this thing that would be just a nice thank you. Because whenever I get 0 XP, it frustrates me, because it's like, well,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, because it's a natural reoccurring currency that just keeps feeding you, and if it was able to unlock mounts, minions, just there's all kinds of little things that they could have it do that has no impact on rating and on the dungeons, and so it just becomes this nice thank you. Now, it also isn't so where people feel like they have to go grind it, right? Because you don't want to sit here and bring in a new player and say, well, hell, you're not, we're only going to take G100s into this raid, and you're only just level 80. Like, no. It's like you don't want to sit here and start dividing the community off of it.
I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, it's like a prestige level, Kal-El.
It looks like
thanks for your service.
It looks like
Superman.
Yoshida. It looks like Yoshida's trying to like stop stuff like that from happening. Because what is it? I forgot what it was. He was trying to like make it so people went like, oh, you haven't got this, oh, you can't join us.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the whole problem with Blue Mage. That like Blue Mage's issue is that we have a matchmaking system. And that's where I'm really hopeful that we'll see more limited jobs come into play to kind of round out that system a little bit more, and then having content for them to engage with. So if they ever bring the new raid, the new Fate system into the other areas, that just tells me that the guys are just working around the clock like crazy to try to bring in that system to everything else. I thought they could easily add the loot, like the lock boxes or whatever from like the Eureka and all that to Fates, just as a natural dropping thing that you could go trade in for fun stuff. But the currency in and of itself is fine as well, because it encourages you to get out in the open world. And if you're waiting in queue, why not run some Fates? Like it's good. It's natural. It'd be cool if they also, like, once you didn't need that, like, again, if you don't need the XP, like, it'd be cool if they chained it out for something else, maybe more currency, or if you do need the XP, like, yeah, like, that's where the glamour level would be, I think, a real value for everybody. Wait, I have cordials.
Alright, well, I'm out for the night, guys. I got stuff I gotta do tomorrow.
Alright, Clink, get some sleep,
Clink.
dude. So Pete says, hey Brian, I just wanted to thank you for the good and constant content. Your coverage of the media tour and live letter have been helping to state my appetite for Shadowbringers. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Pete, for coming in and saying that. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Like, we really, love the game and love the community, and we're blessed to be in this position in which that we can bring this information to everybody and hopefully frame it in a way that gets people excited, but also not at the same time overhypes them, so that unrealistic expectations get set. And then, because there's nothing worse to be like, Shadowbringers is the best thing ever, and and it's like, maybe you'll love 99% of it, but maybe there'll be 1% of it you're like, all right, I don't want people to get overhyped, but I want them to be excited. And it's a hard line to walk, because it's like I too can fall into that, like, oh man, it's gonna be all these things, and it's like, oh wait a minute, like, that could be it's a lot of work. Adios, amigo. But I'm thrilled about the first, dude. The zone design, it's just gorgeous. Like this is beautiful. Like, it's a good zone, but like it does not compare. It does not compare.
But, I mean, are we gonna is the first gonna be stuff that happened in the first? Are they gonna bring anything from the first to the source of anything?
I think if they do, it's narrative, right? I think if we
I mean maybe there's a big threat, maybe the source could maybe this first people we meet cross over. Can they cross over? Or
well,
is
they
it
already
something we
have.
can do?
They've already have. In the Warriors of Darkness, but essentially they had to sacrifice themselves, so maybe we'll find an easier way to do that so it's not as dramatic. Now Riccardi says the dungeon challenge idea for the speedruns was a great idea. Oh, and the fact that they're thinking of that and they want to do that, that sounds awesome, and that just has me excited. I would expect that if they're going to do something like that, expect it around 5.4. If we're gonna time this out right, expect that kind of content around patch 5.4. That's the timeline that I would expect.
Yeah, it's not something we're getting as soon as Shadowbringers launches.
Yeah. And Sotor Reaver says, wait, so what happens after the story's done? They say that once the story's done, more story. Whenever we resolve the Zodiac conflict and stuff like that, then they'll have other stories for us, man. They there's a lot of things they can do and a lot of directions they can go.
I thought like, after it's been like sitting in your mind for a while, how do you feel like Stormblood ended in that? Do you feel like it?
Yeah, it was pretty. It
good
was
enough?
pretty benign, if that's like a good way to express it.
You're comparing it to Heaven's Ward.
I'm trying not to be too hard on Stormblood because I loved Heaven's Word so much. Like it was just like for me because especially
So
dragons
good.
and all that. Just love that. So like I'm trying to like look at it without the lens of saying like wow like the previous chapter was so much better. But as a whole, I think it does a lot to set up, Shadowbringers, right? So,
Yeah.
it just wasn't my
It's like-
expansion.
Would you still put Shadowbringers Stormblood too?
Yeah, that's why I say SB1, SB2. Everybody's like SBH and SB whatever, SCBAL, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. It's like it feels like Shadowbringers is really the extension of Stormblood, and hopefully it's gonna have to see what happens. I love the story of the game.
I'm just wondering if they're gonna be like in the story. Is it gonna be like?
Okay, Knight. Go ahead.
Are they gonna have things like crossover, like from each other constantly? Like, is it? Or is it just
like
gonna
are we
be
going back and
stuck on
forth?
first through the whole story?
I think we are. Like I think that something's going to be going on here that we're going to have to go figure out what it is. And so that because of that,
we can't
like,
just leave.
I mean, we can like obviously come back to like here. We can
We
teleport.
could technically leave, but yeah.
But I wonder if narratively, like they'll do something.
I'm wondering actually how is it gonna be placed on the map?
I don't know, man. Like if maybe the world map like pulls out, like if we go up and up and up, and now like then it's like and now we go out to the the source and it has the different. Who knows? That's gonna be neat to see. They wouldn't let us see that.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably stopped you from seeing that.
Well, a lot of things were turned off. So there's a lot of things we wanted to go look to access, but we couldn't. I like that they let us track like the achievements, and so that's kind of where we were like, hey, can we not only track the achievements, but can we track our challenge log? Like, especially like when I don't have any quests, like it'd be really cool. Like like fill it in with let me put my challenge log stuff in there. That'd be cool. Angel Todd says, what's your favorite job right now? Summoner. Summoner's my favorite right now, and it's my favorite going into it. We'll see if it retains it. I think Dancer was really a lot of fun to play as well. Not that I mastered it. Pardon me. Woo. Yeah, I think with the yawning, it's like we'll finish these leaves, and then I'm probably gonna call it head to bed. We do short streams here. Like get in, hang out. We'll see you guys. Ben
You
says.
get out.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say like nothing wrong with doing some short streams.
Yeah, I have more energy for it, especially late at night. I try to, like, I wanna get some sleep. It's like feel rested. Sometimes these get me too energized. That's why I'm happy I went for my run, so that way hopefully I'll get some good sleep tonight, especially with having a little whiskey. Let's see here. Ben says, "Oh, please, not another. Put a story on hold while I screw around in Doma for 6 level interlude." Yeah. I get why we needed that, like, narratively, but it did feel... I don't know, I don't know. It was okay. I thought Heaven's Word was, like, just a really good narrative, really good adventure story, I like the Shinryu fight, like, because I like the challenge of it. Nidhogg not saying he's not challenging at all. I just thought the Shinryu fight was just visually like really cool, but yeah, like Nidhogg was.
Yeah, like the size of you look.
Yeah, he was
You made me
huge.
feel like you were fighting a big thing.
He was so huge, and it was really like a kind of that was kind of where like you look at like the gap, the challenge log of the gap. It's cool. Here's that you finish the story, and I don't think the story fights kind of really prepared you for that fight. So when it first hit, like a lot of people were really struggling. So it's going to be a fun expansion as people play and level up and get to like these boss fights that you don't know. There's no set mechanic. Like I haven't fought Shinryu in like probably a year. Like it just hasn't popped. I don't think I've done any Duty Finder stuff in a long time because I've just been focusing on trying to get everything done here.
Hey, Brian, you know what I thought was interesting with the trust system?
What?
Yeah, like how each person in that party reacts differently to the boss mechanics.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like when something happens, like what, they all like react differently. Like Alize is fierce, so she's most likely gonna just run into battle.
And she'll
Without thinking about
and
it.
they'll use that limit break. They will pop that limit break, and it makes me happy. All right, let me go turn these in, then we'll wrap up. Now I get some sleep. I got kids' birthday parties to go to tomorrow.
You got two.
Yeah. And then we're gonna grill out at a park with some friends, and then I got the podcast with Aetherite Radio, and then we got right after that the podcast with Zenadry, and yeah, so it's gonna be a fun day. I'm gonna be so tired by the end of it. Leave It To Me is almost complete. All right, sweet. Cool. All right, and yeah, we got 1.5 levels to go, and then we'll have Miner done. Solid. So Andrew says, quick question: if you change, if you can change anything about the game, what would you change? I would have, I would bring in the 11 conquest system. In a way that like allows us as a grand company to all play together, and over week we'd all get tallied, and it would be just some more communal content. I think one of the things that was really cool, Guild Wars 2 does it with kind of the server PvP, the world versus world, but in 11 you had this every week. It was just your home nation was in first place, second, and I don't think that we would set it up that the grand companies are trying to take over zones. I would call it patrol, and I would say that who protected the realm the best, and then you would have like Garleans or something like that. But I would love to see something that like everybody right now on the server is contributing to some goal actively and passively, you know, and then every week we kind of see it. They have the grand company leaderboards, but that's off on the website. That should be information and stuff that's baked into the game, and that's what I would change. I would bring in that communal aspect. I would lean more into the MMO, and I would add a tad more sandbox to the game, where I don't want the game to be a sandbox 100%, but I would say that the best thing the developers could do, like with role playing as a sandbox element, the best thing they could do is empower us to make our own content. You know, so it's like, because we'll make our own adventures, and that's where like open world bosses and things like that, like I don't know, like they exist and they drop things, and there's reason, but it's a hard balance like that. It's easy for me to say that. The real implementation of that is probably just like not realistic. Let's see here. Besiege might be fun too. Besiege would be a hell of a lot of fun, but then at the same time, like I would also then say like remaster 11. Yeah, they talked about bringing in the 12 Gambit system back when they were talking about Heaven's Word. We haven't ever seen any other word of that, so I guess maybe we should, if we get the chance, maybe we can ask about that. Oh man, yeah, we're gonna be in Grapevine, so thanks for the heads up, fellow Texan. So we'll be in Grapevine and Louisville tomorrow, and then by the way, yeah, for while I have you guys, you Texas boys, is on June the 20th, Gather Together and WorkToGame. We're going to do Gather to Game at the Nerdvana in Frisco at 8:30 p.m. If you guys can give me a heads up as to who's coming, that would be amazing. So we can kind of, I need to let the restaurant know. I'm going to try to give them a rough estimate of how many people we might have. So that way we can just kind of hang out, get to have some drinks at the bar, play some games because they have plenty of things. Capel, we actually just moved out of Carrollton. So... you ever been out to St. Anne's? Like, I'm sure you've probably seen that parish. Like, that is a huge Catholic church out there. Beautiful. But yeah. The Nerdvana in Frisco. So it's off of like DNT. Woot! Yeah, I played music at that church. I played the guitar for mass.
Hey Brian, I'll be in on that on the 20th.
Sweet, awesome, dude. We're gonna be out there 8:30 because it's nice because it's also a Thursday. So the goal is that we don't want people to get like trashed. So it's like,
Oh.
yeah, you still got work tomorrow, boys.
I would if I was in Texas or closer.
Yeah, I get that, dude. Yeah, it's like I'm not saying that this is going to be some insane, crazy event that you need to fly in for. It's just going to be our vision of it is that Paul from the Gather Together podcast, me and Chris, Randy, whoever can make it, we're just going to hang out. It's if you haven't been to Nirvana, it's a really cool bar. They have really good food too. We're not, it's like you just kind of pay for whatever you want, and we're just figuring we hang out. Get to hang out with the community. And it's 1 week before the launch of Shadowbringers, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Just to talk about it and all that, close up and all that. Have a good lunch.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out in Discord. I'm going to wrap up the stream. It's been a blast, guys. I hope you all have a good night. Have a safe weekend. I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon.